Okay, so to make a box, we need multiple parts. So we're going to create a new document. Actually, I'm going to create a new folder called box. And I'm going to open that folder, and then I'm going to create a document in here, and we're going to call this box base. Alright, so since this is the bottom of the box, I'm going to make my sketch in the top view. So I'm going to click down.
I can't see like what's going on. I only see your.
Alright, so I'm going to start with the box in the middle, and I want it to be centered, so I'm just going to make it with my center point or rectangle, and I'm just going to go like that, and now I'll use the equal constraint. I'm going to make, because we want to make this square, so I'm going to make those equal, and then dimension, I'm going to make this a 3-inch square. So now I'm going to make my tabs, so I'm going to change my tool again, and I'm going to make 4 tabs sticking out of the side. And now to center these, I'm going to put points on the midpoint on each of these. And I'm going to use the origin to center it. So I'm going to use the vertical and horizontal constraints to center this. So horizontal, I'm going to go here and here. And now that's centered, and then here and here. And then vertical here, here, vertical here and here. And what those are doing is it's lining it up so they'll be right in the center. Here's my equal tool. So I'm going to go around and make all these equal. So all the horizontal parts of the tabs I'm going to make equal. And then also all the vertical ones I'm going to make equal to each other. So now I only have to dimension it once. So when I go here and dimension this, I'm going to make this 1 inch. It should change all of them to 1 inch. And then I'm going to do this is the thickness of my material, which most of the stuff that we have is 1/8 of an inch thick. So now I should have 4 tabs. They should all be centered. They should all be 1 inch long, and they should be 0.125. So now I'm going to click check. I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to extrude all of my boxes to 0.125 inches. So there's my base. So now I'm going to make one side. So I'm going to go to assembly, and I'm going to insert that part that I just made. And I'm just going to click to place it. And then I also want to fix it, so I'm going to right click and fix it. This will make it so it can't move around. Alright, now we're going to go up here to create Part Studio in context. So what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to make another part with this part being here. So I'm going to click on the origin and then click check. And so now I'm basically in a new part, but I have my old part here and it's like ghosted out. So now I can actually make a sketch on the face of the existing box. So I'm going to start a sketch right there, and I'm going to use the geometry of the other box. So I'm going to use that line. I want the bottom to be in there, that line, this line, this line, and then also the top of this. So basically my part will be extruded down here like that. So now I can take my line tool and I'm going to finish the box. I want it to lock perpendicular, so right there. And then I'll close the box. So now I have this shape. I'll dimension it. So from here to here, let's say I want it to be 4 inches tall. So now I just have to add my tabs on the side. So what I'm going to do, this time I'm going to add 2 tabs. So I'm just going to go like this, and then on this side, I want it to lock in there. Actually, I've got a faster way of doing this. So we can use that same horizontal again, and I can line up these boxes. So I'm going to click on the corners, and that'll constrain the corners together. So they'll be the same. I'm going to use the equal tab. I just pressed E. I'm going to make all these equal, and then do the same here. And then dimension. So this will be my thickness. We'll go back to 1 inch here. But now I do need to dimension these here. I'm going to go in 1 inch. Here I'll go 0.5, seems like the right thing to do. So now I've got my tabs on both sides, so I can extrude this. No, I don't want those. And I want it to go towards my box, so I'm going to shift this direction and then do 0.125. Okay, click the check. Now I have that side, so I'm going to go insert and go to assembly. Click yes. So now I have 2 parts in my assembly. Alright, so now we're going to put this other one in. So what I'm going to do is click insert, and I should have both parts on here. So Part Studio 2 is the one we just made. So I'll select it, and then I can click and place it. So I could put as many in these in here as I wanted to. Now I'm going to constrain it. So I'm going to use a parallel constraint, or yes, a parallel constraint. So what a parallel constraint does is it essentially makes the planes parallel. So if I click on this plane and then this plane, it's working. Alright, let's try that one more time. So this plane and this plane. Okay. Then I click the check, and what that did was it lined them up parallel. So now this part is, this face is parallel with the outside face. So now I'm going to do the same thing down here. So parallel, I'm going to choose the bottom, and then the bottom of this. But that part moved, so let's try this again. So this is why I don't understand, because it just keeps moving back and forth. Alright, so to constrain this now, we're going to use the Planar Mate. So what I'm going to do is choose this edge first, so that's choosing that plane. Then I'm going to go down and choose this plane. I want the actual plane that I want to line up. So now that lines up, so I can click the green check. Alright, now we're going to line, it's working. So now we have, and it actually lined up with the edge. That's cool. So now we'll try the bottom. So we'll do another planar. We're going to choose this, and then this bottom face. No. Try this again. So planar here, and then we're going to click the edge. and then it locked in. So we've got the two parts now that are locked in. So now we can use this. We're going to go back to the create part in studio context. Okay, we'll choose our origin, click the check, and it's going to load a new part. So now I'm going to start a sketch on this face. But actually I noticed something that won't completely jive with what we're doing, because this part's sticking out and this part's sticking in. So we need to change this to an in part. So I'm going to abandon this for a second. I'm going to close out of this. Go back to our assembly. Actually, part studio 1. So that's this one. But I want to edit this. So I'm going to edit in context. Okay, so now I can edit my first one. So I'm just going to change these to inside. So I'm going to start a sketch here. And I'll take my rectangle tool. And I'm just going to make these little boxes like this. And this one I'm going to have to add another, because I got to cut that tab out. Now dimension, I want it to be 0.125 from the edge. So now I can extrude these shapes, and I want to remove them. So now I can go to the assembly, and now I have those parts. So now everything is the way that I need it to be. So now I'm going to go back to create part in context. Okay, and I'm going to click the origin, check, sketch. I'm going to sketch on this plane. Now you take my project geometry. I'm going to go all the way around now. I won't have to draw anything. But I just need to be careful that I'm projecting the right ones. Oh, I take that back. I will have to draw something. Just working my way around, projecting all these. Alright, and then I just got to close the line at the top. And if this all worked out, I should be able to flip this. This time I'm going to do up to face, so I'm going to actually use the face of my other one to extrude it. Click the check, insert, and go to assembly. Oh. Now I've got two parts of my box. Insert. The last one was part 3. So I click to place it, click the check. Alright, now we need to do the planar mate again. I'm going to choose this, and I want it on the inside edge of this plane, so choose that edge. Click the check, and we'll try this. So we'll do down here, and then we want this bottom face and the inside edge. If I click the check, Oh man, we've got all sorts of